my goodness, my people, you're welcome to the biggest show in the continent right now, MS Live with your boy Mac Milton. This is the show that we have insightful conversation with your favorite artists pertaining to show business. Today on the show is going to be a bang. We have one of the most sensational artists. He's redefining Afrobeat, and when it comes to his music, it's off the roof. And I have my brother in the building. He goes by the name Jubed.
Yo.
Brother man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Amazing.
So how best will you describe your year?
It's been crazy.
2026,
Yeah,
how best will you
crazy.
describe it?
Crazy, crazy. Because most of the things that have happened is just by God's grace.
Okay.
I'll just say like it's crazy. That's basically. Because anything that happens, I remember me and my manager, we just like, thank God for it. Because, you know, we just leave it in God's hands. That's basically it.
Do you believe in words of affirmation?
Oh, yes, of course. 100%. It's the most effective way to encourage yourself as an artist. And even as a creator out there, it's almost best for you to always have words of affirmation, both from you and from other people too as well.
Okay. Yeah. Last time you came on the show, you were looking different.
Yeah.
Your hair was black.
Yeah.
Now
basically.
you have changed the look.
Yeah.
What is the idea behind it?
You know, one thing about an artist is that you have to understand that you have something to represent. For me, I'm more of like an anime. I really love to watch anime.
So what's your favorite animation?
Currently, I'm stuck on Fearing. It's more of like it's like a journey kind of anime. It's very patient, but a few fights in there. But
okay,
my favorite of all time is Solo Leveling.
Okay.
So,
nice. It's my favorite too.
Yeah, so it's like I also used to watch this thing, Teen Titans.
Okay.
By DC. So there's this guy, Aqualad. I think that he's the son of like Aquaman.
Okay.
So he has this kind of hairstyle I've been eyeing for days. And he has this kind of leadership quality, you know, like leader of the new school kind of vibe. So I'm not saying I'm the leader of the new school, definitely not. But I like his leadership position and everything. And I was like, yeah, my head kind of fits him. So I was like, yeah, let me just probably do it. So that's where the inspiration actually came from. But it's also helped people to actually identify me out of the like, you know, the many that, oh, this is the guy who did Ruwa.
Okay.
So it's actually like a win-win.
Why? First, were you finding it very difficult for people recognizing who you are?
So the song was out there, was making waves, but people did know me, but they, you know, always they had to look at me twice before they see that, oh, this Beyond.
They can't easily identify.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're like, yo, hey, yo, you know, like now they can visibly be like, oh, this is the guy who did Ruwa, which is actually a good thing, for me, yeah.
That's very cool. I want us to get straight into the music.
Most definitely.
Last year, you dropped one of the finest song in the country,
Most definitely.
Ruwa.
Yes, please.
And I know your mom is from the northern sector, the northern part of Ghana.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and you represent Wa.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. But you speak some one or two of your native language.
You see this thing. You see this thing where, you know, you have a place where you belong, but you know your parents might just bring you to the, you know, at those times I was very young, and you know both my parents were hustling. God bless them so much because they took so much care of me when I was born. So we came to Accra straight. So I didn't really get time to like stay there and learn more about my culture. But it's now that I'm actually going back to my roots. So it's now like I'm taking little lessons and seeing how best I can be able to give back to my roots and then, you know, give them what. But this Ruwa is actually like a very big step towards that, and it's helping me, you know. Most of my people are coming around. They're like, oh, yo, bro, I didn't know you're from here. Oh, I'm from here. I'm that. You know, I'm starting to get to know people from the north, and also northern Nigerians too are also like coming in crazily. So it's great. It's great. I'm now starting to like, you know, get to know more about my language and everything. So very soon, don't worry, I'll speak with you one-on-one on that part.
You are one of the few artists who is redefining Afrobeat with its own sound.
Yes, please.
Because your sound is very unique. One thing I want us to talk about is your music is a bit of cultural and a bit of urban.
Yeah.
How do you blend both? Being cultural and at the same time being urban?
I just do it. And they say that the Bible says that in the midst of leaders or in the midst of teachers, wisdom is being established. So I think most of the time, to me, having great people around me when I'm in the studio also helps me to like literally bring out the right things that I have to do patiently. I'm not the type of guy that does everything in a rush.
Okay.
No, I don't. The song was made in like just a few minutes, but when coming out, me and my team, we always make sure we sit down to analyze it. So sometimes I see the frustration from Ghanaians would that come at me in my comment section. Yo, bro, release another one. I'm like, bro, if I have to take you guys on a journey, you have to be patient with me.
For real.
I don't want to be those type of artists that just comes out 1, 2, 3 bangers, and then at the end of the day, we don't have a story, so you can't follow them genuinely. You know, it's just that normal artist who has a song. But then I want to be somebody who would be remembered in generations to come, who had a firm foundation of an artist, like, you know, someone that, oh, we know where he's from, we know him. So even when there's stuff going around which is not true, they are able to support you. You have to create an army. So that's why I'm being patient about whatever I'm doing. That's why I clap for my brothers when they are winning. I'll win definitely.
Okay. So you want to build a core fan base.
A core one. So I have to be patient with it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
it takes time to build that.
Yes.
But how long did it take you to craft or to master that sound? Because your sound is very unique. How long did it take you to craft it with the being very cultural and being very urban at the same time?
It took patience. That's why it took patience. It's like people from the beginning. People were telling me not to release songs. I should just be on there a little bit and then do it. But I feel like the more you release songs, the more you get to learn. Okay, my type of song is for this fan base. Okay. So for me to get this kind of fan base on, I have to do this. I have to do so. It helps. So it's all the patient building. So even if you're getting just 20K streams in a year, don't worry about it. It's you building it. Your next song might get 40K, 60K, then it keeps building up until you reach to a place whereby the millions are very easy for you to. So it's just like that. So at that moment, I was just releasing songs low key to learn, to see where I can actually tap in. And then I figured it out that, oh, okay, I have this fan base, so I can do this to bring this fan base out. And then it just happened.
You said earlier on that some people come into your comment.
Yeah.
How do you handle social media trolls?
Yeah, I go to the gym. I always tell you, man. I always go to the gym, look in the mirror, tell God like about everything I have to feel. My manager is always there. Keys is not like my manager. He's just like a brother to me. He manages me, but it's like I talk with him on like brotherly basis, because when I established that relationship emotionally, he's able to understand me as an artist, and he's able to fend for me. Because I've seen that if I just seem to just be my manager and not open up to him, it's very easy for frustrations to creep in. Yeah. Anything that happens, I'll just like go out there and just talk about it. But he knows the business more than me, and he's like a big brother to me. So if things people are testing or commenting or trying to like feed on something negative, I go to him quickly. I'm like, bro, what do I do at this point? He'll be like, yeah, relax. Sometimes if he's not there, I just go to the gym and just like, bro, gym everything out. So like everybody knows I'm very calm, and that's my
shake it off.
Bro,
shake off the negative energy.
It happens. It's good. Like, you know, you can talk bad about, oh, yo, what's up? Gee, man.
Okay.
I just, I'm good.
So the first week you released Ruwa, it was in top 20 Spotify. How was the experience like for you? How was the moment? How best can you describe it?
Yeah, it was great. So it's a great feeling for an emerging artist to have a breakthrough song, to have a song that is being recognized by other countries, not just in Ghana, but other countries also love it, and then they are supporting you. It's just like, it's so amazing. This is what we genuinely wanted. So, but now if it happens, now that it's happening like quite a lot of times, I'm mostly just like thanking God in my wardrobe, like, yo, God, thank you, because I sometimes feel like we dreamt about this and we thank God already. So right now we just have to give thanks to God that it's happening. You know, now I don't really go crazy like the way I used to do, like, oh, top 20. Now I'm just like, I'll just be in my room, call my manager, yo, Charlie, top 20, crazy, we thank God. Then we just move on.
Right now you've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
That's the power of success.
Exactly, like, you just like, okay, top 20, okay, top 1 next, let's do it. Then we just do it.
right now, majority of the people know that you're a Ghanaian.
Yes, please.
But do people still mistake you to be Nigerian?
Yeah, even still, every day I'm getting new set of fans because of how much I post every time on TikTok. So it's like everybody is now yet to, hey, I didn't know. Hey, because up to now I still post, people still come and be like, I didn't know you're a Ghanaian. So that's why I feel like you showing yourself out on social media is actually very important as an artist. Like you telling your story every day is great, because when you're like that, you get new sets of fans every time.
Right, true.
So yeah, people still, even now that is even much more bigger than, now Nigerians actually think I'm Nigerian.
Wow.
Yeah, so they stream, now they are crazily streaming it, and then crazily like abundant on the pages. So yeah, we just bless God. Okay. Whatever be the case, I'm an African. I'll say I'm everywhere, but Ghana first, regardless.
Like a lot of prominent people have endorsed your music. Yeah. The likes of Sarkodie, Don Jazzy, Becca, a whole lot. The list goes on. Let's talk about Sarkodie. Let's talk about the time and moment having the opportunity to meet Sarkodie one-on-one. What advice did he give you as an artist, and how was the feeling like for you?
Yeah, so he was more on the part where I always say this to people in interviews. He was saying that whenever you're recording, there are not people in the booth with you. So when you're recording, you know it's a masterpiece. You and your team, you're okay with it. So why is it that when you bring it out and they give negative comments, you feel like it's rubbish?
Wow.
Yeah, so the same way you thought about it when you were in the studio, you loved it. Use that same energy to promote it. That's why you see me promote it.
Yeah.
I know, like, sometimes it's very disturbing to Ghanaians, but I'm sorry. I have to do it. It's my happiness. When I see my post, I'm happy because it's what I love. I love the music, so I'm putting it out there. So that's why I do it. So no matter how, if I have to post 5 videos to make me happy that I'm happy about my song, I'll do it. You know, if somebody comes in a comment section, Charlie, they do too much. Charlie, one hit wonder. I'm like, bro, I love it. I love what I'm doing, so I'm going to keep on doing it. So that's what he gave me, and I feel like it's great. And even since then, we did a show with Kim Promise recently, Promised Land.
Okay.
Shout out to Kim Promise. He put me on real bad, and it was great. It had, I didn't know Sarkodie was actually in the whole crowd, and I think one of the viral videos I had was him reacting to it, because he was at the back there moving, and that thing blew up on TikTok again, and people were like, Charlie, you have to actually do something. And I was like, bro, don't worry, it will come.
Time will come.
Yeah,
you don't need to rush it.
Me and Sak is inevitable.
You can't rush greatness.
Yeah, exactly. It will come.
Yeah, for real. So, as you said, people come into your comment, you have a hit song, that means the expectation is very high. How do you soak the pressure?
Yeah, just as I said, go to the gym. But yeah, music is a spirit. That's one thing people don't actually know. Music is a spirit. It chooses you. You don't choose music, man. Like, I've gotten to realize that.
Okay.
I never chose music.
Okay.
When I say that, it's not because when growing up, I always wanted to do music. But there's a point where you reach, where music itself has to choose you. Then you know that, you don't have to, like, because there are people that chose music, paying huge sums of money for charts and billboards and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not going in for them. But music chooses you. Once you start to understand that, you do the right thing so that one day music will be like, you know what, let me choose this guy. Okay. So that's how my mind is right now. And I always, like, when I'm making a post, I tell people, God is my PR. They don't understand. Okay. It's not like I'm not putting in the job, but God is you PR. Guys would understand it. One day, right, even this is little, one day we'll get to a point, right, people will start talking about weird things. Oh, he did this, he did that. And then I'll just highlight that post again, a post I made in 2024 or 2025. God is my PR.
But Jubed, do you believe in the theory that hit song is a divine?
It's divine. It's chosen. It's chosen by, I don't know which source or which, that's why I'm telling you music is a spirit. Okay. You can create a song which sounds so good. Everybody in the studio knows that, bro, this will be out. You can release it today. 1 week later, you'll be depressed because it doesn't have that stream. But a song that you didn't even, I was listening to that video when he was being interviewed on the With You remix, With You with Omale. Ooh. He said he sent it to people, and it wasn't even in their top 5 when he was about to release it. he just did it. And imagine that song was the one nominated for Grammy this year. So that's how it is divine. It chooses you. And it's just the same way that you have to do, there are certain things you have to do for music to choose you. Dedication, hard work, patience.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand those things and you feel like music is, you're just gonna bring out song and let it blow, bro, it won't. Because me and my manager, we always talk about it. The hard work we put in trying to bring our music out, the frustrations we have to deal with, the patience. Sometimes we really want to do something, but we have to stick with the plan.
Okay.
And that alone just makes things happen. So I feel like I'm being graced. That's why everything that's happening is just God.
So apart from Ruwa, which song on your EP that you felt that this song is going to blow? Like people are going to deeply fall in love with it, but I didn't get to that pinnacle.
So all the songs, we chose the songs because we knew all the songs would have to blow.
Okay.
You get it. But a few did. I remember the one with Kojo Black also, we didn't even know. Recently we got to know that it was topping charts in Kenya.
Wow.
Yeah, it topped charts in Kenya. We had to go revert, and we were like, if we knew this thing, we'd have gone to Kenya. But it topped.
But it's not too late.
Yes, it's not still too late. But it topped charts in Kenya. It was like number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5, the whole Kenya, and in the whole Spotify, it was top 20.
Okay.
Like the whole
in Kenya.
Shazam, not in just Kenya, the whole Africa.
Okay.
Afrobeat songs, it was top 20.
Wow.
But we didn't know. We were just sitting there. We thought the song was just where it was. So that's the beauty of it. You might be sitting here, but your songs are doing wonders, and you might not know.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Music is spirit. You never know when it would just pick your song and it would be doing whatever it's doing. Look at Over by R2B's.
Yeah,
bro,
right
song,
on. Yeah.
Bro. So that's what you never know when music chooses you. You can promote as much as you can. Yeah, but music chooses you. So we didn't know, but even with the remix, we didn't know we would do a remix. We thought we'd just leave it like that.
Like that. Okay, so Jubed, we'll get back to it. I have the next question I'm going to ask you, but let's go for a quick musical break. We'll be back in a bit. Welcome back to MS Live right here on MS24 TV, and I'm having a great conversation with Jubed. And Jubed, as I said, like you are one of the finest artists in the country, and we enjoy every bit of your music.
Yeah.
But as I was telling you earlier on, your song was topping charts in Kenya, Spotify. Right now, do you have a research team who mostly do that for you?
Yeah, right now we have a team that, at the back ends, tracking our streamings, everything, like the chats, so that at the end of the day we could have early confirmations of where we are, and then where we need to go, where we need to build from, and everything. So yeah, we do now.
Okay, all right. I want us to get into your discography. You've dropped your EP, From the Soil. One, let's talk about the artwork. What does the artwork symbolize? What does it represent?
Yeah, so From the Soil, we just had to do something for other culture.
Okay.
From Ghana, we know where our roots are, so that's why we have the black and red. The red is for the blood that our fathers, had to fight to gain freedom for us. The soil is the black. There's a black this one, and then I'm standing on it. The soil is from the roots, like the soil giving the roots nutrients, and then I'm standing in as a tree, which the soil is feeding, and then so like literally from the soil, like from the roots of Ghana to wherever we are going, where God will take us.
Taking it global.
Yeah, global. Amen. Yeah, most definitely.
What about the costume?
So the costume, shout out to my stylist. We just had to do something African, like something cultural. I think I didn't have any idea of what to wear, so we just gave the stylist this is what we want to do, and then the person just put up a few stuff, and then we just got it. We got the gold Ahinema, everything. You know, it was great. It was amazing. The trousers was my favorite because I always love like big trousers for some weird way. Sorry, but yeah, that's how it went. But yeah, by God's grace, yeah, the EP went well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what inspired the project? Where did you draw the inspiration from?
Yeah, so just as I said, from the roots. So it's just everything is just from Ghana. Um, yeah, it's my first EP, so it had to be like top on. It had to be something that when you're introducing it to people, people know that okay, you are from the block, like you are, you know, from Africa and everything. So yeah, that's why we just had to make something like that.
Okay. So how many producers did you work with on this project?
I work with Kizzy, and then I work with Iga Boy from Nigeria.
Okay.
So there were just two producers.
Yeah. They worked on this project for you. Okay.
Yeah.
But what was the most difficult song recording? Most difficult song?
All of them were so easy, man. I think, man, all of them were easy. All of them were, yeah, all of them. All of them was great. It was easy. It was fun. It was fun. It was great. You know, as an artist, you have to have fun with your work. I do know that there are some things that for me like this, I don't like leaving recordings because normally when I leave, let's say for instance, if I'm going to record a song today and I leave it for later, I forget about it. So I don't like that. I just, even if I'm sick, I'll just attack it.
Okay.
Whatever we get, if I have to correct it, I do that. Okay. But if it's, when normally they are always spot on by God's grace. So yeah. I'm always having fun with whatever work I do. Okay.
Yeah. I know all the songs on the EP are your babies.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite song?
Right now, I still see the remix.
The remix, okay.
With Oxlade, Yemi Alade, and Prince MK. Because, bro, for an emerging artist to have
such big artists on.
Bro, it's crazy. That's why I told you everything is crazy. Like, you know, even the starting of the year, the things my team and I are
planning.
Oh man.
Okay.
It's all God, man. We bless God. So I'm yet to even the Spotify being named as Spotify artist to watch 2026. That's crazy. African artists to watch, like with the likes of Shoddy and everybody, you know. We had it as a surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't I was just there and then I got the message, bro, you've been named. I was like,
wow.
Huh?
That means they're recognizing your work.
So it was crazy.
I know you are very big when it comes to TikTok.
Yeah,
but,
TikTok.
Oxlade has to come into your comment.
Yeah, Oxlade had to come. It didn't actually come to the comment. It came on the live, man. Okay. I do TikTok live sometimes, like here and there, just to. It's also a part of me telling my story. So aside the music, bro, like, come, let's vibe. So this is me. I'm jovial. I like to work out. So like, you know, it's a part of me showing like my fans the other side of me. So it always works. So I was just there and Oxlade just popped his head out. I was like, hey, Baba, what are you doing here? I have no business with you. What are you doing? And Oxlade was like, bro, your song is a jam. I was like, thank you. So from there, it was, we didn't even, the thing is, we didn't even go to him and be like, we need you on a song.
Okay.
Oxlade shown interest from day one. So actually getting him on the remix was so easy. He was like, yeah, let me hop on it. Yemi Alade is already family. So she always supports me far away. You know, so for me to have a mentor who's like, one of my mentors being Yemi Alade is great. So she was also like, send him now. Okay. So I sent it, she had a great on it. And Prince MK Baggy, I sampled the song actually from a Nigerian. Okay. So he was the one I sampled the song from. Because in the north, he made the song late, like, it was like one Nupe, they call it Nupe, so it's like a song for the Northerners in Nigeria. Okay. So he was like the originator of that. So I sampled that sound and made it more like a global reach. Okay. So it was actually the right thing to do, to call him and be like, bro,
can you jump on the song?
Yeah, you're a legend. I need you on my song. And then he was like,
you feel like that was the way to honor him?
It's a way to honor him. It's a way to give him his flowers, to let him know that I'm literally grateful because I'm from Ghana. Yeah, true. And I came to pick a Nigerian sound. I thought it would be a heated argument, but he made it so easy for us, which I really thank him so much. He's very big in Nigeria. Wow. Like the northern Nigeria. So yeah, he's big. So I was like, Baba, thank you so much. So shout out to Prince MK, shout out to Yemi, shout out to Oxlade. Okay. Yeah.
Right now, the remix is out. How has the reception been so far?
Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. It's even overpassing Ruwa.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It has a global reach now, which is also crazy. Going crazy, man. Man. It's great. The things that the Lord has done for me from the starting of this year is crazy. Got the chance to do a few big shows this last December.
Yeah.
Performed with Oxlade himself when he came to Ghana, which is also crazy. And even having an opportunity to travel again to UK next month.
Wow. For which show?
We are hinting at
Sarkodie, Rapperholic.
Going to support him definitely.
Wow.
And then after that, a few shows with a few Nigerian Fola and Co. So we'll see. We'll see how.
That means you are working hard, bro.
So that's what I'm telling you. Like, the things coming out this year is going to be amazing. It's going to blow the minds of Ghanaians, and that's what I'm telling you. That's when people will realize when I told them God is my PR, because you see everything. Evidently, I don't want to.
So you are working behind the scene.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Yeah. So when are you dropping your song with Sarkodie?
Very soon. With that one, you know how SAC works. You just be there, you just come and hint it. I have a song with this artist, and you know how SAC is, man. So sometimes you can feel like you want to feature him, but SAC will be like, nah, I will feature you instead. So everything is with him, and he will choose. If anything is there, my team would determine it. But we have another song coming in March.
Wow.
Which we are hinting on a feature too as well with Shoddy.
Okay.
So
okay.
We'll see how that one too goes. But by God's grace, great things to come.
Okay.
2026.
So let's talk about your song with Shay Shay.
Yeah, Shay Shay.
Okay. How did that happen?
So she also liked the song. Yeah. So that's how crazy. She also reached out to my team and was
so
like,
you say it's very easy for you to get access to Nigerian artists?
I think because they think I'm Nigerian artist, so it's very easy. They always like, it's very easy for me to, I don't know, but I think it's grace too.
Okay.
It's all grace, because I know Nigerian artists who are doing so well and don't even get features. For me, a Ghanaian, to just come on the scene and big artists are, and it's not like even, it's just so humbling, like for seeing someone like Yemi, like, oh man, it's humbling. So Seishi was crazy. She's a legend too as well, so it was crazy to get her on. And even then, bro, crazy, man. The collaborations are crazy things. But yeah, I wish I could say it, but my manager wouldn't allow me.
Okay. Let's talk about your artistic expression. I've watched you on a couple of events, and your stage presence is very dope. I like how you handle. You're very emotional. You're very passionate when it comes to your performance.
Yeah.
What is your pre-show ritual?
I do push-ups. That's all, man.
Everything has to deal with the gym.
Yeah. It's just my way of releasing stress. And
okay.
Like, you can ask my manager. The one we did with Kojo Q, bless him, which went viral. A lot of people were talking about the vocals and stuff. I just did push-ups. And when I swear to God, when I go on stage, I don't always have it in mind that I'm going to take off my shirt.
Okay.
No, it's just the presence of the stage. Sometimes it gets to you, the way people are, like, hyping you up, and then you're like, bro, I feel heat, so let me just take it off. But it's just my way of coping up. Sometimes I do some like small working and just to like release the stress, and then I go on stage and just go and deliver. I've been doing live bands before I even came into the scene, so it's sometimes like controlling crowds and stuff. God has blessed me with the fact that I can be able to, I don't let things get to me. Whether you look at me awkwardly, I can look at you in the face and still be like, So it makes it very easy for me, because I went through the process of like performing. There were times where I was even singing at Accra Mall, like coming up, like with a guitar. I'll be at the front, so when people
also play the instruments.
Yeah, I play the guitar, I play the piano too.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like I think all those moments were like good for me to come up, and then they were all training me for this moment. So now being on stage kind of feels very easy by God's grace. So yeah, we keep on going.
But Jubed, do you feel like your looks kind of deceive people, that there's more to you?
And I like that.
Wow.
You see, like for instance, with the remix, it surprised everybody. I like that. Like, I like the fact that people will be like, oh, he's on, and then boom. and then they'll be like, hey, you get it. I like that feeling because it makes people. You know how God is. I'm not. God has this kind of character that he always amazes you, and I thank Him so much that you know we are descendants. So he it's all in us. Everybody.
Okay.
You have power to amaze people. If you make yourself a vessel, you always have that kind of. I'm bringing an anime this one because
Yeah.
there's always like this point where the anime characters are fighting, and then it's like it opens up a new level of their powers that they didn't even know they had.
Like solo leveling.
Exactly. So I feel like every human has it. The more you keep going through all this training process, you open yourself up to like upgrading, and that is what has been happening in my life. There's always like if I bring this song, I'll just be there and then I'll be like, bro, I want to do better, and then something comes up. So I like the fact that it surprises people, and that's how it should be like. Until like we get to that point where we are filling stadiums and people will be like, bro, he deserved it.
All right.
Because he went through all the thick and thin.
But Jubed, have you submitted any of your songs for TGMA?
Yeah, we had to because we are part of the industry regardless, and TGMA is it's a platform to that celebrates Ghanaian artists. So we've done very well. I mean, we looked at our records, we saw that we've done actually very well, and then we submit. We just wanna celebrate our work. We are not there to go compete or try to win stuff. Like we just want to celebrate our work. If we are nominated, we put our work there. Oh, he was nominated for Ruwa. We're good. Like we are 100% good. No competition needed. The fact that the industry celebrates our work and is able to recognize the fact that he's also like working in the industry, we are 100% okay. Shout out to the boards too as well. Yeah, they are doing amazing. But yeah, we just want our works to be celebrated because we did the work, and then that's it. We're good.
Yeah, more to come, more to come. You heard from the man himself, Jubed. Guys, you can check out his EP, From the Soil. It's out on all streaming platforms. You can check out the music. My favorite song is Abena, so I just love that tune. And there's more to come this year. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So, Jubed, last words to your fans, and where can we reach you on social media?
Yeah, prayer is the key. Prayer is a master's key. I don't need nothing from you. I don't need money. I don't need cars. I just need your prayer, because I feel like it's much more important than any other thing in this world for me. And your prayers keep me going. So keep praying for me. If you're a lovely fan, all I just need from you is prayers. Remember me when you're sleeping. Say a prayer. You want Jubed to be on another level. It always helps me to get better. I love you guys so much. Thanks for I think of you guys every time, regardless. Even whether you hate me or love me, I love you regardless of whatever happens. Please stay safe. We are in a very, very crazy world right now. Stay safe. Protect your families. Protect the ones you love. Protect the haters too as well. Peace.
Nice, bro. Nice having a conversation with you. Really appreciate your time. And I like that positive energy.
Yeah, most
Keep it up, bro.
Yeah,
so just heard from the man, Jubed. This year is going to be a great one. More collaborations, more tunes for you guys to enjoy. So, guys, this